The Warriors are 1-3 right now, and it got worse with news that Curry broke his left hand on a pretty scary fall. Although this obviously sucks for the Warriors, I think that this could actually bode well for the Warriors and their future. Now, they weren't going to do anything crazy this season, and the way that they were, especially with the way that they were playing with absolutely no rebounding, no defense. They allowed the Suns to put up 70-plus points in a half. They have no rebounding, no defense, and they really only had two legitimate scorers in D'Angelo Russell and Steph Curry, and now that's just one legitimate scorer in D'Angelo Russell with Curry being out, and they also have some young players and Draymond Green. Not a lot to work with there. Now, obviously, I thought that they were gonna make the playoffs, but I thought that they were gonna be a 7th, 8th, 6th seed. And when you turn that into draft picks, probably not very high, not really lottery picks. But I think that this is going to be an overall reboot of that roster. Now, I do not mean that they're going to completely dismantle the roster and implode it and just say, boom, we're done, we're trading Curry, we're trading Draymond, we're trading Clay. No, I don't mean that. But I think that's more of preparing for next season completely. First of all, they can really scope out and examine their young guys, their young talent, and see who they really have that can make a difference, that can make an impact on the game with Curry, Clay, and Draymond at full health. Their roster without Clay or Curry, including Draymond, is an average of 23.6 years old. That is one of the youngest, if not the youngest, rosters in the whole league. So it's really about seeing who they have on that team and who can make an impact on their future and who they should really keep for their future with Curry, Clay, and Draymond. Along with that, secondly, they can also look at some D'Angelo Russell trades where they can get a couple picks for him, or maybe a center or power forward who can rebound and play defense, along with a bench player or a pick or two. And the third thing also is that they can get a high draft pick, because they're obviously not going to do well with D'Angelo Russell, only D'Angelo Russell leading the charge, so they can get a high lottery draft pick, and from there they can probably draft a playmaker, or if they really, really need to and haven't gotten any trades going down or don't sign any big-time free agents, they can draft not a playmaker, but a center, a power forward, someone who can help them on the defensive end as well with getting rebounds, because that's their main problem since they go small ball so much. And the fourth big thing, this is the biggest thing, is that you get Klay Thompson and Steph Curry completely 100% healthy as well as rested. Completely rested. And that's the biggest thing, fatigue. So, all in all, if they do those four things that I mentioned, scope out their young players, possibly trade D'Angelo Russell for picks, or a starting big, or a good bench player, or some more picks. The third thing being draft really, really well, get a high draft pick, get a playmaker, or get a center, get a big. And fourth, make sure that Klay Thompson and Steph Curry come back fully healthy and well rested. If they do those four things and they do it correctly, they can have a starting lineup of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and possibly two free agents or trade acquisitions or draft picks, but that's a bit less likely of them having rookies in the starting lineup. So most likely trade acquisitions or free agents that they sign at the power forward and center spot, and maybe small forward spot if they slide Draymond over to the power forward, but primarily being a space maker as well as a shooter. Someone who spaces the floor and can shoot the ball pretty well and who is big, as well as a center who is pretty big, can rebound, and play defense. Does not need to be a high-volume scorer. And that gives slight vibes, if they carry that out right, to the team that they carried out way back then with Curry, Clay, Dre, and David Lee and Andrew Bogut. Very good defensive team and very good offensive team as well. So like I said, this is a reboot. A reboot of talent on that roster with the evaluation of who they really have, as well as a reboot of the structure and the roster of players, which bring in future free agents this upcoming year, as well as getting potentially a high draft pick, as well as of fatigue, most importantly, with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, and maybe Draymond Green. We'll see how that goes. So in the end, Curry's broken left hand just might be a blessing in disguise.